Hi, freshmen. Today we are going to talk about organization in completing a research paper and how to set up an outline, at least a structure for an outline. In a different video, we'll talk about how to fill in your outline when you find certain information from your research. So, like I said, today we're going to start with simple organizational setup on our Google Drive, and then we'll create our doc, okay? So I'm in my Google Drive. I'm all logged in. That's your first step. Make sure that you're logged into your Google Drive using your student account. And then we've got this setup here. Now, obviously, I have a lot of folders, a lot of stuff saved into my drive already because I've been using this account for several years now. What you're going to want to do, you may have some folders, you might not have any, but we're going to start by creating a folder for English 9. So I'm going to go up to this new button right here. And I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to title this folder English 9 because that's the class that I'm currently in. If you already have an English 9 Google Drive folder, that's fantastic. You're just going to open that up and meet us at this next step here. So once you have your folder created, like I said, double click on that, open it up. And now we've got an empty folder. So in this folder, we want to create folders for each unit that we complete throughout the school year. You could have been doing this all the way back to the beginning of the year and typing your responses to different prompts and things like that. But if you don't have anything, if you're starting fresh, we're going to just hit new, create another folder here. We're going to title this one research paper. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to save everything from my research paper in this research paper folder. Okay, so I'm going to go in here, and because we are setting up, we're going to start with our outline. We're just going to go in here and create a new, one more time, Google Doc. Okay. Everything that you type for this class and for future English classes moving beyond this point should be in Google Docs because it allows us the certain functionality things that we need more so than a Notability app or a Pages app might. So we want to make sure that we have access to these formatting features to stay consistent with our formatting across projects, across essays, across classes. So ideally, over the next few years, you should be adding to this Google Drive with everything that you're typing for all your classes, okay? So here you'll see I've got a blank document. Right now it's called Untitled Document, and I want to change that. So I'm just going to click on that, and I'm going to call this Outline Research Paper. And the reason I add research paper to the title of this, something that is unit specific, is so in case I do end up making other outlines for other classes or other things, I can always go back and find this specific outline for my research paper in particular. I'm then going to start out with Mla formatting. So I'm going to start with my name as a student. So let's say that my name is Peter Parker. I'm then going to hit return or enter once. And I'm going to put my teacher's name. And while I'm doing this, I'm also going to make sure that I'm capitalizing my proper nouns. I know it sounds like a silly, unnecessary thing to add, but I find that oftentimes students don't capitalize everything that they need to, especially if you're typing on the iPad. It's not always going to just automatically capitalize certain terms, certain words. So P and P here for Peter Parker are capitalized. The M and Mrs. I want to make sure that I have my period, space, capital P for PDIG. I'm going to hit enter one more time. I'm going to put in the class that I'm currently in, which is English 9. Type it right. Then I'm going to hit enter one more time, and I'm going to put today's date. And the reason that we type the date this way is that this fits with the Mla formatting, and it's the more European way to write out a date. So they go by the date, which is the smallest unit of measurement in a date, so the actual number of the day that we are in, so the 12. And then January is a collection of dates. Okay, so it's the month. And then 2021 is the year, it's a collection of months. So you go small, bigger, biggest. It actually makes quite a bit of sense. I'm going to hit enter one more time. And I'm going to type out the title of my document again. So outline research paper. Okay. With the title, we want to make sure that that's centered. So I'm going to go up to this button right here where you see the alignment change to center that text. I'll hit enter one more time and bring this cursor back over to the left. And I want to start my formatting. So I'm going to make a capital I space, and that creates a Roman numeral I, and it also, or Roman numeral 1, and it also notes to Google Docs that I'm going to be entering automatic formatting for an outline. Okay. If you forget to do a formatting right away, let's say I start just by typing introduction, and I want to actually start my formatting, I'm going to go up to this button right here. It says numbered list, but this is also a way that you can, if you click on this drop-down menu, you can also change this, and we want to use this Roman numeral formatting here, and it'll format that for you later. But again, if you just type capital I, period, space, it should pick up on what you're doing and automatically create this formatting for you. So now that we're at this point, we want to fix all of the formatting to fit with the requirements for the class. So I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change the font type from Arial to Times New Roman. I have Times New Roman in my recents, but you might not if you don't use Google Docs very often, or if you haven't changed it to that font recently. So I'm going to scroll down then in my list if I need to and find where it says Times New Roman. This is a really standard font type. It looks professional. It's pretty uniform, and it's widely accepted to be a academic type of font, which might sound silly, but it just really fits with the tone and the functionality of what you're doing. So right now you'll also see that it's currently on 11. We want to change that font size to size 12. So I'm just going to click up one. And I'm also going to make sure that I double space everything. So everything I turn in for English class, the main reason for this is so that I can leave comments to you more easily within the text, where you might be able to read it more effectively, and it can help you focus more closely on the things that you need to see. Okay, so double spacing is always going to help me leave better comments for you, which means that you're going to learn a little bit more. You're going to learn a little bit more easily. Okay, so to change the spacing when you're on a laptop or desktop, you are going to click on this line spacing button here with our arrows going up and down, and you're going to change it from 1.15 to double. At this point, then, we can continue on with the rest of our outline formatting. So in my introduction, if I hit enter once, it's going to automatically create, if I have my automatic formatting turned on, a Roman numeral 2. What I want right here, though, is a capital A, because I want to show what I'm going to include in my introduction. So I'm going to hit my tab key and bring that over. We're always going to start our introduction with some sort of attention getter. Hook. You might have heard either term for it. This is a way to introduce your topic to the audience and really captivate their attention. Okay, I'm going to hit enter again, and I'm going to see this capital B, and this is where I'm going to save space for my thesis statement, which is going to be my one-word sentence that directly answers the writing prompt that I've been given. We'll work more on thesis statements a little bit later on. I'm going to hit enter again. I'm going to see a capital C, and this is where I want to leave a space for my preview of main points. And that's all I need to save space for right now in my introduction. In a basic introduction, those are the 3 things we want to make sure we don't leave out. So I'm going to hit enter one more time, and I don't need that capital D, so I want to get that back out into Roman numeral territory. So if I hit enter once, that'll change that for me. Or I can always do this by going up to this decrease indent button, and that'll pop it back out as well. And this is where I'm going to leave space for my main point 1. And I'm going to continue to leave space for a couple more main points. In a basic essay for English class, we want to make sure that we have at least 5 main paragraphs. It's a pretty standard length for a very basic argument or a basic point that you want to write about. This means that you're going to have an introduction, 3 main points, and a conclusion. The further that you get in your English classes, the more advanced your essays are going to become. So you might want to branch out beyond 3 main points eventually, but just as a place to start here in freshman English, we're going to focus on the 5-paragraph essay as a way to be more familiar with the structure of an essay. Okay, so once I have space left for all those 3 main points, I'm going to hit enter one more time, and I'm going to leave space for my conclusion. So when I get information to put with each of my main points to help support those points that I want to prove, I'm going to click on the line of the main point I want to add to. And I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to tab over to create those capital letters again. And I'm going to leave space for support or evidence. And I'm going to do that for each main point. And as you go through and start to fill in with your research, you can certainly add multiple pieces of support or evidence. So then I would just go up to one of these lines, hit enter, and now I can add another piece of support or evidence to my argument. Okay, so this is going to be the skeleton of my outline. This is going to be very helpful for when I go to start filling in with the research that I'm finding from my book sources and my online sources as we continue on with our unit. Okay, if you have any questions about how to organize your Google Drive, or if you need any help on outlining, especially on a laptop, because this is kind of laptop specific or desktop specific, let me know. I can make another video for iPad specific. I probably will, and post that also in your help folder. So feel free to use any of these resources, and reach out if you have any questions.